So the CLEAR method is something I've developed through the National Expert Academy. So for 10 years, kind of behind the scenes and only with MedLegal Pro, I've been training nurses and doctors behind the scenes how to write legal reports. So they submit them to me before we submit them to the attorney so that I can kind of help them and guide them on, well, this needs a little bit more information. And it's really about the analysis, like I said, the what happened that shouldn't have happened, or sometimes it's what didn't happen that should have happened. What's the standard and all of that? And then how is it different for the patient or the client? How the outcomes have been different? And it's even with some of the people I've been working with for years, they still need some guidance on that. But so the CLEAR is clinical legal context, legal record analysis, expert report structure, authoritative opinion writing, and report readiness. So those are my 5 things that we work through in the program that I put together. It's a a certified medical expert report writing course, 9 modules, and then I also do one-on-one consulting to help with the report
So,
writing.
since we're on that topic, even though it's out of order, it doesn't really matter. I don't follow any particular order. I just so you launched the National Expert Academy for clinicians who want to do expert witness work. So, what gap does that fill that didn't exist before?
So, as I said, when I tried to get into this, there was a lot of, I don't know, we'll call it credentialing bias in the nursing sector. Like I said, I couldn't get into this stuff. Nobody would, there's certain groups that just won't even let you in. And so this is for everybody. I don't know that I know there's other courses out there that teach the writing and maybe have live events and stuff. I don't know if there's anybody else out there that does one-on-one consulting. What I do is I read the report and give direct feedback on that report. So that's part of this academy. I feel like, we go through school and we submit tests and we get feedback on our work, and that's how we improve. But there's really none of that available to these experts. So they submit a report to an attorney. They may never hear back from that attorney and they may never know why. And it could just be the report. If an attorney has to sit there and rewrite an expert's report, they're not going to call them back. They don't have time to train them. They don't have time to sit there and do all this work. They're hiring them to save them time, and they need this for their case to submit to the court. And so if you write a strong enough report, they may settle their case before even having to go to deposition or trial. So it's really, the report to me is your work product as an expert. I think it's very important. And I think the other thing that experts don't necessarily think about is that once your report is out there, once you've submitted it, you can't take it back. It's out there. It gets passed around to other lawyers. If people are looking to hire you, they want to see your work product. Sometimes they want to see samples. It precedes you, and you're not even in the room sometimes to kind of like, come back from something that may be a mistake and just won't get rehired.